Hello, in this Java video we are going to take a look at the switch statement. The switch statement is still part of the conditional statement, the decision making aspect of programming. So we've looked at if statements, the else if branch and the else branch, so this entire sort of if format. And the switch statement, you can think of it as a slightly simpler version of what we're doing here. With the switch statement, it's great if all you want to do is check if one value, so like I for example, is equal to something, and if not, is equal to something else, if not, is equal to something else, and maybe have a fallback like this. It doesn't allow you to do advanced checks like this where you check if it's greater than a value or not equal to a value. It doesn't allow you to do checks like it doesn't allow you to do multiple checks as well and combine that sort of stuff. So it isn't as complex, but for simple scenarios it's great. So let me just show you the format. So if I were to do char, now I'm gonna put this as student, I'll say, yeah, I'll do int x, create a new value variable, and the format you put switch, open close bracket. In here is the value that you want to check. So what it, like, we're gonna check if x is equal to something. So you just put the value, don't put any condition here, curly braces, and what's this? Hasn't been initialized. So if we just initialize it to 1, there it should disappear. And the format here is you put the keyword case. Now you put the condition itself, and you don't put the condition as in like double equals or anything. You just put what you want to check if x is equal. So we want to say if x is equal to 0, do something. Then you put a colon, I'm going to indent it. Then on a new line, I'm just going to put the keyword break. I'll explain the keyword break in a moment, but for now, just take it for granted. I'm going to do system.out.println, and I'm going to just say number 1, number 0. And if you want to check if it equals 1, it's simple. You just add another case, put the number 1, now you just put the number 1. So as you can see, it's pretty cool if all you want to check is if a certain value is equal to something, if not, is equal to something else. So just simple checks. So we'll add it up to like about 5. So that'll be 3, 4, 5. Now let's just fix all of this. And finally 5. Okay, so now let's run it, see what we get. And I'm actually going to comment out this code. So run it. So it says number 1 because x is 1. So if I say x is 4, run it. It goes for the checks and it finds this one, so case 4, and it prints out number 4. What happens if we put, I don't know, 9, which isn't a valid case? If I run it, it prints out nothing. So we can do something similar to what we did here, where you have a fallback if all else fails. And this usually goes at the end. You put the keyword default, so default colon, and keep everything in line. And in here, you'd simply put what you want to have as the default on the system.out.println, and I'm going to say not valid. So if I run it again, it says not valid. And if I just, let's say, change it to 0, just to confirm that it is still working, it says number 0. The reason we don't have the break statement here is because this is right at the end. So what is the break statement? So when we did loops, or when you get onto loops, you'll see that the break statement essentially allows you to, get out of the loop. And it's sort of similar in a switch statement. So as soon as it hits the break statement, it is going to, exit the, that switch statement. But if, let's say, we don't put this break here, and the case is 0, what happens is it goes to case 0 because x is 0, prints out this line, and it just goes to the next case without doing a check and does whatever code that is. And if I were to, let's say, I'll actually undo this and I'll just comment this out. So what you'll see is it prints out number 0, number 1, number 2, and number 3. Because there's no breaks, it just trickles down. So this is really good if you have a bunch of potential different comparisons you want to do, but what you actually end up doing with the code is the same. This is fantastic for that. So the equivalent in terms of if statement to this will be something along the lines of if x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 1 or x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 3. So that is the equivalent of sort of what we've got here. Obviously it prints out all of these, so maybe you will most likely just get rid of these and maybe just have the one piece of code that's called here, and it doesn't matter whether it gets into case 1, 0, 2 or 3, and you'll just print this line out there. But let me just undo this again. Actually I'll just do Command Z. Okay, and one last thing I want to cover is, up till now I've just been using integers in the if statement and the switch case statement. You can use other, data types. You can use pretty much any data type in the if statement, and you can use other data types in the switch as well, like char. But that's not the case for all languages. Like certain languages, you can only use integers in there. So just bear that in mind if you are coming from another programming language. So that's it for the switch statement. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. There will be a link with the video to the GitHub page, which contains all the source code from this tutorial and every other part in this series. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.